Hi everyone, today we are back in 30 Days of Creativity as we have been every day this month, and I'm having a look at these empty balloons which need some doodles in them. Now I have seen some really pretty attempts already at excellent doodling and colouring, brilliant, but I am looking for a way myself to do a little design that I have thought of. So I'm going to do all my 3 balloons the same, so I'm just going to show you one, and I am going to do them in a rainbow stripe pattern. I think the hot air balloons that have those patterns always look really pretty. Now to start with, I am actually going to mark it out in a graphite pencil, which is really unlike me, but I just want to have a go first. I haven't practiced this, so I'm just going to start. Now at the top here, I'm going to do a shape like that. Now you could use a template to help you with that, because you can see I'm a bit wibbly wobbly there, it isn't quite even, so I think it needs to just go maybe like that. Now the bottom piece, actually let me darken the rest up so you can see it. There we go. The bottom here, because I want my stripes to go like this. Okay, like that. Now this is very thin, so if they all disappear down into this thin pit, I think it's going to look a little bit odd. So what I'm going to do is section that bit off, and I'm going to colour that in its own colour. And then I'm going to do the stripes down here. Now I need to follow this curve, so it's easier for me if I turn the book slightly, so I've got my hand in the centre of the curve and I can just go around, you see. So I want to follow this sort of direction, start here and go like that, do you see? And I want to do the same on the other side, so I'm going to turn my book around and do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to trace that with my hand first, just to get my confidence up before I then do it. Okay, and hopefully it's almost even. And then we're going to do another one inside here. Like that. I hold my breath as I draw it. Quite bonkers really. So I'm turning it back round, I'm sorry for all the shifting about, and doing this one. There we go. And we'll do 2 in the centre. So this one's slightly wobbly. Ooh, okay. So it's getting a bit thinner towards that end. Maybe that's how it has to be to fit it in. We'll see how the other one looks. And then this one will be about here. Yeah, we'll have to touch that one in the middle. There we go. So that's my design. I'm quite pleased with that. It's not perfectly even, but hey, that's how it's going to be, I'm afraid. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got our 7 rainbow colours. So we can have our red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet there. So that'll be fun. And I need to draw the same thing on the other 3 as well. Now I am going to ink this over and then erase the pencil because I don't want to smudge this graphite into my colour. I also have to think about what I'm doing top and bottom. Am I going to take one of these rainbow colours and do it? I think I'm probably going to do them black, top and bottom, to really make this stand out. And I think what I'm going to do now is go away, finish this on every balloon, erase it and show you how I'm going to colour one. I think that might be fun. So I hope you can bear with me. And I'll be back. Right, I am back. I drew the lines on all of the balloons. You can see they're really quite wibbly wobbly, and I did some little loops top and bottom. I messed that one up quite a bit, but anyway. So I've coloured this one in, but only basically. I'm going to show you my idea. So I used my Bambino crayons to put in my initial layer of colour. They're quite good for making a nice, really vibrant, solid colour, so I did my rainbow. Now I don't know if indigo and violet go that way round or the other way round, but hey, that's how I did it. That's how I like it. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and what I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. I've got my Castle Arts pencils out now, and what I want to do is to emphasize the colour between each of these, because this bit here on a balloon, it's actually sort of pushed in a little bit, like there's going to be some shadow along here where it's dipped in as such. So my idea is to use a darker colour, so I'm colouring on top of my crayon on the edge of here, like that. This is a, I didn't tell you, this is a Scarlet Red, you may struggle to see, a Scarlet Red colour. I have done it top and bottom. My light is quite bright, so it's not showing up that so well, I don't think, as down here. So just putting quite a line. I'm not trying to shade it in or anything at the moment. I'm just doing a line all the way up. It really looks like there's none there, but there is. Now an orange. So I'm going to have a look and see what I've got. I think the cadmium orange might work. I just got to experiment and see whether it's going to show up enough. It needs sharpening. So my sharpener's getting a bit full, so I'll not push it too much. So along this edge again, just with a defined line, that isn't dark enough. So I am going to use, what's that? Will that be too dark? Maybe not. I'm going to use the terracotta. It's almost a browny orange. Go over the top. That's better. Shows up. Now I know on some of my pictures I haven't used pen, but I decided that I needed to on this one. I didn't want to draw freehand with pencil the lines. I wanted to get it right with graphite first, because it's not something I've done before. And go along this one too. But I was okay, reasonably happy with the result. My black lines are quite wobbly, they're not perfect, but you know, there we go. You can see better down here where we've got a contrast. I'm wondering whether I need to shade that out a little bit. I'm going to bring that orange out just a tad. So I'm going to do a lighter layer coming out a bit from the edge. I think it might help us to give more of the impression that we're trying to give. Sort of fade it into the orange. It helps if your orange is as even as possible. Mine isn't brilliant, but let's see. Yeah, I think that's okay. And I'm actually going to go back in with the red and do a little bit of that sort of thing as well. It's quite a pinky red, but I don't think it matters too much. There we go. Now I want a yellow. This is a very pale yellow, so I can really use anything. I find castles are quite pale as well in their yellows. I'm going to use this cadmium yellow. It's a slightly brownish yellow. I think it will stand out enough, but we'll see. I'm going to have to sort of push it down quite hard to be able to see it. It's not really showing up that much. I didn't even know whether I could put pencil on top of these crayons, but it's really nice that I can. I've never tried blending them in with anything else. Usually with pencils I just mix up brands and don't really bat an eyelid, but these are crayons, it's all a bit different. Okay, now green. That's quite a pale green, so I want something that's not too dark though, so I'm going to go in with the leaf green middle. I think it's sort of the right type of shade. You can see how wibbly wobbly this line is. So what I'm going to do is go down there quite hard and then do a little bit towards the middle as well. I didn't worry too much with the yellow, it just wasn't really showing up anyway. And the same here. Now I know that some of you are brilliant at doodling and you'll just want to doodle on your balloon like Johanna did. I know some people, I've seen some people's already, some people used a ruler, some people didn't. I think I would definitely use a ruler, but that's just because of my lack of confidence. But you know, it's up to you. I haven't actually watched Johanna's video. I looked at it, but I haven't listened to it because I wanted to see what she was doing, whether I wanted to do something similar or not, but I decided to just do my own thing because I really like these multicoloured balloons when you see them around. So I've just got to dig into my next layer of colours. Don't want to go too dark with this one because we've got the dark blue next, so I'm going to go in with the cerulean blue light, and again on both sides. So starting on this one, taking it in a little bit. Now you can spend a lot longer on this and really get those graduated colours working nicely. Now you can see that I've done my black. It's not as dark, it's not pitch black, and that's okay for me. That's what I wanted. I didn't want it to be a really thick black. And if you want something really, really, really black, it's best just to use a black pen. You know, you get a really defined dark black then. It's not what I wanted. So that was, so I was fine with this sort of lighter black, if that makes sense. And I won't be doing much more work around there. And I did these grey because I needed them to stand out. So sorry about that. Telephone rang, as it so often does, and I'm not really sure where I was at. I'm having a look, and I think I've probably done this blue one, and we're probably onto the indigo. So I'm having a look now for that sort of colour in my Castle Arts. I think, let me see. I should have looked before I pressed, shouldn't I? I think the Prussian blue is probably the darkest blue colour. I'm just going to test, make sure it's not purple. No, it's not. I know it's called blue, but sometimes they're a bit purpley. So as we've been doing, a little bit along this edge here and towards the centre. Now you can spend as long as you like doing this, trying to spread the colours out a little bit, maybe evening out the base colour and things like that. Now I was also wondering with these bits, you might want to do some shadow under those if you think that they are, this bit's really wibbly wobbly. If you think that they were sort of loose bits, or whether you think they're sort of part of the design. I wasn't really sure what I was thinking. I just thought it just added a little bit of interest somehow to it. I'm just going to try and fade this because it's quite a lot darker than the blue that I used. Okay. Our last colour is that violet, isn't it? I think I'm going to go with the mulberry. No? I will, but I've picked up the wrong one. There it is, the mulberry. It's quite dark. I don't know if you can see that very well. Anyway, now while colouring this, I'm sort of thinking a little bit about the sky and what I'm going to do with that and the clouds. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to do, I might do some pastel. It's a little bit quicker and easier. And I thought maybe the clouds, you know, it's often tempted to do the clouds a little bit grey, but it's not a very positive colour, is it, to do grey? So maybe maybe a pink with some, maybe grey at the bottom, pink at the top, as if it's catching the sun, something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, now there's that one. Now for me, that isn't quite defined as much as I would like. So I'm going to go in with a darker colour on each one. I'm just trying to find what I want. I'm going to go in with a cool grey deep. So I don't want black, but I want a dark colour. So I'm just sharpening it. So this is the cool grey deep. and I'm going to run it along this line and just take that dark colour a little bit out either side on top of that colour that we've already done. And I'm hoping that will define it just a little bit more. It's not taking too much colour down, which is probably a good thing, because I do want to sort of assess. I don't want it to push it in really hard. I want to just look first and see how that's working. I'm getting a lot of bits on my page from this pencil, so I'm just going to do a little bit and then I'm going to brush it, and then I'm going to have a look and see it, and I think that's worked better. So I'm just going to go along each of them like that. You don't have to do this step, you don't even have to do the previous step, you can just do a pretty block of colour if that's what you want to do. Obviously this takes a little bit longer, so it's just a little bit more time and a bit more work, and it depends whether you think it's worth it or not. So it's... Oof. The dog barking. I haven't heard a dog barking outside for ages. I think it's because it's colder weather, there's less around. Sounds like the one that lives across the back. It's got a really deep bark. Now I'm not a doggy person. I can get quite scared of dogs, but I don't mind hearing them. And I think this dog with this really deep bark, he just sounds really friendly somehow. I don't know why. I think I'm a bit more wary of some dog owners than the dogs. I think if dogs don't behave, it's probably not their fault, you know. But I've always felt it's because I don't know dogs very well, it's always wise to be wary of them, because I wouldn't know how to predict their behaviour, and I wouldn't want to, you know, upset them, cause them to hurt themselves or someone else because I didn't know how to be with them. But my sister's just got a new dog, having never had one before, so I can learn a little bit. There we go. That still looks to me now a little bit dark, so what I'm going to do, and I probably won't do this all on camera, is to just go back. This is the mulberry. Go back over the top like that and just fade it out towards the edge on this one. It's just a matter of just trying to blend the colours in together a bit more. And just bring it out as far as you feel it needs to be. I'm just going to brush that off. And you can see it's really wibbly here where my line is wibbly. But I'm trying to ignore that. I'm shading it now, it's not going to help you, is it? Let's do it down here, you can see. See, I'm probably going to end up covering over quite a lot of the Bambino, but that's okay, it's quite nice to have that colour underneath. It helps, it's a layer then, which is nice and easy. I think if we bring it out quite far with quite a light bit in the middle, it might help us to start defining that shape a little bit better. There, I'm getting happy with that. This wibbly line is worrying me a bit, but I think if I can go over it a bit more, it will work better. There we go. It doesn't matter if that bit's a bit light, because we want it to look like it's sort of that shape, and I think we're getting there. I was just going to show you this. I was given this pencil holder, or extender, sorry. It's really good for the Bambino crayons. You can see this one's getting a bit short, and it just pops in. It doesn't fall out, and it just pops in and out. It's really, really good, and it stays in. But it's so easy to take out to sharpen. It's brilliant. I think it was Sharon that sent me that. It was fantastic. So thank you, Sharon. brilliant. So I'm going to go on and do a little bit more work on each of these. Then I'm going to do the other balloons. So I can't show you the basket. I can't move my book up any higher than that. But what I will do with the basket, I'll show you this basket. Why not? Let's grab some browns. I like a darker brown. So I've picked this burnt umber, which is quite a dark brown. And what I'm going to do, I know I should be able to zoom in a little bit, I can't zoom in anymore, is go over the whole basket with a layer to start with. So that's quite a light layer. Now this very top piece I think is going to be overhanging the rest of the basket. So I want a nice dark line underneath it, and it gives the impression it's casting a shadow under it, and so therefore it is sticking out from the bit below. Hopefully you can see that. Now what should we do with this basket? It's a round basket, so we want to put some more colour on the edges and less towards the inside, and hopefully we can start to give the, might not be round actually, are these square? Now I'm doubting myself, maybe they're square, I don't know, but we're doing this now so we've got to continue with it. So put a bit more colour on the outside. I'm thinking we might darken this line just a little bit, and this one like that, or we could just leave it like that. Now we've got our ropes and our sort of framework and ropes. I will probably do those in, I just realised I've messed up this balloon. I haven't messed it up. See, I've done grey there and I did this little bit in grey and I need to do that bit in black and I haven't, but that's okay, I will do it. I think these ropey bits, whoops, I probably do in a sort of goldeny yellowy colour, but no, I won't try and make anything, I'll just pick a colour out. I've got quite a lot of smudging going on there which I need to sort out too, but there we go. I'm going to leave that there because I think we spent quite a long time on that page. So there we go. There is the sort of progress so far, I suppose. Obviously I'm going to work on and finish this page, but again I don't know whether I'll have it done before this video goes out, but if I do I shall pop it somewhere so you can have a look at it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it gave you a few ideas. Maybe you're going to do something completely different, or you're, you know, if you're good at doodling and drawing, then I'm sure you can do something fantastic. But thank you so much and happy colouring.